Hey, welcome to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. My name is Bobby. Joining me today, the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky, and we're gonna have a nice death.
I hope. Well, I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I hope so, but also I hope not for a while. You know?
Yeah. Chase, I don't know a whole lot about this game. Do you?
I know a little bit. So this is Have a Nice Death. It came out early March. It is developed by Magic Design Studio, who I'm trying to pull up and see if they've done anything else that I know. Games. What do we got here? Have a Nice Death. A game called Unruly Heroes, and that appears to be it. But it's published by Gearbox.
Interesting. I don't think I knew that.
You know those guys.
The Magicians.
Well, one of them is. He makes credibility disappear. But this is out on out on PC, and I believe this is early access. Correct, Bobby?
Yes. On PC only right now, available via Steam. This is you're playing as Death, and your overworked employees have kind of ran away with it and are having you basically dust off the old cloak and go after them. And I think it's got a really charming style to it. I think it's a very cute looking game for dealing with a heavy concept.
And Bobby, hold on here. Oh, I thought we were playing Have a Nice Death. You've pulled up Hollow Knight here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you pull up Have a Nice Death instead?
Yes, I will grab that. Give me 1 second here to just change that out.
It does really look like Hollow Knight, doesn't it?
It looks a lot like Hollow Knight. It's got a little bit of Death's Door going into it. And it's one of those games, man. Like, you can see that we currently have those abilities. So you've got a standard combo. I can charge up my attack and do that. We'll get some more items that we can add to it, but there is there's a definite known quantity here with this game.
Who's your little book friend following you around?
I think that's like Death's the people that you have to kill, I think.
Oh, like your schedule?
Yes. I think
that's horrifying.
Yes. And poor Patrick's got a knife in the head here.
Stop fussing.
Again, it's very tongue-in-cheek. I think it doesn't take itself too serious considering all things. But the one thing I will call out early on is it's got a really good feel to it.
That's a good name.
Pumpquin. Yeah, pretty good, right? Jerry, not bad.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about Pumpquin. I was talking about Jerry.
Oh, sorry.
Great name. No, yes, this seems charming.
Yeah, it feels really good, and it's got a nice look to it. It's got a really good soundtrack so far. Like, there's a level of polish with this that I don't think I would really expect, especially at this point for like an early access game. And like we jokingly said, like, oh, this is just Hollow Knight. Like, I don't want to come across like overly generic of what this game's doing because it's riffing off something else, but like it feels pretty damn good.
Now, Bobby, maybe you said this and I missed it, but what is this exactly? Is it like Hollow Knight, where it's kind of a Metroidvania? Is it a different? I mean, obviously it's got some 2D platforming to it, but what is this thing actually about?
So you are trying to get your employees under control, as far as the story goes, to like basically stop having to work again. But it's a roguelike run-based game. Like, it feels honestly a lot more like Dead Cells and how it approaches things. So like, what if Hollow Knight was Dead Cells? I think that's probably like a better way for us to kind of talk about what's happening.
Yeah, it's like the log line, sure.
And that's what's going on here with the game. So you're doing these runs. Certain things you're unlocking. Like in Dead Cells, you could decide, like, do you want to have like the ice ability, or do you want to have a bow and arrow, or any of those things. Like, you're going to unlock a hammer or things like that. Here you get to choose what floor you want to go to. Let's go to the vault and see what we get there. And there's going to be mini bosses.
Shop?
I think so. If I can't. I've put about 30 minutes into the game prior to us quick looking at it. So
so you're an expert.
I'm an expert.
Got it.
Okay. Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a boss fight.
Sure. I'm gonna ask you my favorite question for early access games.
Yeah.
Do they have a roadmap?
Not that I've seen, but
Okay.
I haven't looked too hard. And again, March 8th, I think, is when this hit early access, and it was being heavily showcased on Steam's front page that day. So I think that there might be something there in patch notes on what their plan is, and probably find more about it there.
So what's your moveset here? It looks like you got some combo slashes. You're definitely doing some dashes. Do you have invincibility on the dash?
Yes, you do have that. There we go. So, and you also have in the upper left-hand corner next to your scythe, you've got those 3 little diamonds, and that's going to be healing. So that is how you would you can recharge that on playthroughs and use that to heal yourself up on each run.
I think you got some bonus in the last level. What kind of bonus did you choose, and what else is available?
Cloak damage is what I chose, and I think that's one of the abilities I'm going to unlock here in a little bit. So I don't have. There we go. So I charged that up, and that's like an all-out attack. So up there in the bottom left, or in the bottom of that little diamond, there's that pink flashing symbol.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that was, like, hey, you've powered this up. And I should have saved it for right here and just cleared that out immediately, but you know me, I don't think a lot.
That wouldn't be any fun.
No. But that's going to charge back up as we're fighting through here, moving our way through these folks. I thought you were going to ask a different question when you said, my favorite question with these.
Well, it's early access. I'm guessing it's not going to be to Switch quite yet.
Well, one of the other questions, which is like, hey,
there's a third question I ask?
Not necessarily like in any order, but we've played a few games recently on the strategy front that maybe you asked around, like, hey, why play this when you can play this? And
sure.
And again, like Dead Cells I've mentioned, Hollow Knight I've mentioned, very popular, very loved games. Like the table's kind of full, with these types of games already. So like, why would you play this one, an early access game, when like a game like Dead Cells putting out what, 4 different DLCs at this point in time?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you haven't played Dead Cells, I would say you should go play Dead Cells because 1, it's awesome. 2, it's just got a ton of content already. And I have nothing against this game. I think it's got a really great look to it, and it seems like it moves really well. But it is in early access where you could just be going and playing a full game at this point. But if you have been out there and put a lot of time into Dead Cells, then I can totally see why, hey, I'm looking to branch out with something new, or I want to try a new mechanic, and it looks like this is I don't know if I've seen anything that's trying something new yet, but I just really like the presentation that it has so far.
I think that's probably like the best way to describe what's really going on here, is that it is very familiar and it's got a good polish to it, but this game. Like, know this game already. And that's not a bad thing. Like, maybe this is your favorite genre of games. Like, you just love roguelike, difficult, run-based games. This is going to be another one of those that you can chew on for a while. And who am I to say? Like, I play a lot of platformers. I like strategy games. I like action RPGs. It's not like I only play one of those. All right. So now we've got 2 other abilities. I've got our the spear. It's on a cooldown, as you can see, and then we've got this ability that uses our action points, and
Okay.
that's where the books come into play. So that will go back up, but I can also use those as I pull in to do my all-out attack. I can choose any of my face buttons to use that for an even bigger attack where needed.
So are those 3 attacks, Scythe, Spear, and Fireball, always your general attacks, or can you get other things that slot into those?
You can get other things. So the Scythe is always there, but the other 2, maybe you can replace the Scythe too. I can't remember exactly. But yes, you can get other things there. So I'm going to grab this one. Spells temporarily gain 10% mana regen upon casting. That will help out with our Fireball.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to come down to, like, you're going to find the meta for you. You're going to find the weapon set that you like the best, and you're going to chase that every time you play a run. Like, oh shit,
well, and also being in earlier access, they're probably tweaking that stuff and taking community feedback. I imagine there's a Discord channel out there somewhere that
I think so.
Taking community feedback.
Yeah. So it's cool, man. Like, I think it's worth pointing out, and I think I'm all for new games being made, you know? Like, I think that's really neat. But this one does feel like the first attempt at early access.
Well,
Let's see what we got here.
Honestly, I think for a game that is in early access, this feels pretty full-featured. Especially presentation-wise. Like, this thing is already a looker.
Yeah, it's got a great style to it. And I think that's honestly, like, one of the things that I was just like, I don't know if I can really turn away from this one right now. Like, it seems like a very interesting take on that. Here's your options. So it's going to make you slot it into one of these. I'm going to get rid of the spear. And now we've got a green, so a little bit higher tier version of one of those.
Yeah, let's see.
And that was it there. It was a slam down attack I just did.
Oh, okay.
Let's try it on him. So we did, and died.
Didn't go great on that one.
Hey, rest in paperwork, Chase. So we're getting...
Is there any permanence to any of these runs?
Yeah, so we're getting the ingots there. So we got those, and as we come back to our starting point, I'll show you that, and we'll wrap it up here.
Okay.
Back at the desk. All that paperwork. What a terrible thing. So here you can grab your book. We'll get that to come with us again. And then here, Pumpkin's going to be there. I think it's the next person that we can buy those. So these are things that you found. Like there's the Fireball ability right there.
This is extremely Dead Cells.
Yes, very much so. But then over here, so this is where you can spend those.
I see.
So they're also based off of, like, you unlock the ability to use this based off of kills with it. So like the Slaymore there that I have unlocked, that's a weapon we can get in the runs now. I had to kill 150 enemies. Well, we've done that. Feral Fist, again, I need to kill Thanagers. I've only killed one of them. Whirl Daggers, etc. So these are things that you can unlock. I don't think it'll let me buy anything here. Oh, yeah, we could buy that one. So, like, I've spent those, so now on this run, like, I can get those abilities.
Okay.
And have that for the run. I think that's how that plays. I'm probably wrong, but I think that's the gist of it there. Like, you unlock weapon abilities and have those available to you in runs. And here, you can see new things that you're getting. Like, that looks like the Slaymore icon up there.
So like those darkened ones are things that are unlocked but haven't been acquired.
Yep.
And then the smaller ones are probably just things that you haven't even unlocked yet.
Yeah, so we have the ability now to grab that, which we didn't have before. But I've gotten these on my run so far. And that's just letting you know, like, hey, these are things that you're going to encounter when you're out there trying to get your employees under control.
I'm guessing, based on the upper left, you're playing on a controller?
Yes.
So it does have full controller support?
It does have full controller support. It also, like, I'm using my mouse right now, so, like, it has mouse support also, but I think controller is the way to play it, in my opinion.
How do you think this would feel on a Steam Deck?
I honestly, like, I think this would be a lot of fun to play on a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I could see this being a really cool game. You know, like, I got 15 minutes in between things. I'm not going to be at my computer. Let me grab my Steam Deck and start a run. And I'm also curious how, like, that cloud suspension will work that they've got that's coming out for that, where, you know, like, maybe I could pick up and go a little bit easier on runs than what I once had. But I don't know. Have a Nice Death. It's got a lot of style to it. It feels really good for a first attempt at early access, and making games is tough. And I think there's worse games you can model off of. So if Hollow Knight and
it seems like they have a lot of the fundamentals kind of figured out, and and now it's just how much more stuff can we add onto this. Like, if they're going the Hades model of let's take a game that we think is pretty solid and then just keep getting feedback and keep refining until we have this amazing thing, then I'm all for it.
That's a really great call out, because I always forget, like, that journey to the amazing game that we got with Hades. Like, that was a really good effort of Supergiant and the community working together on an early access run, and I would love to see them do something similar here. Like, I think that it's got some good bones to it, and that's no pun intended. Like, it's got good bones.
Sure.
But hey, if you dig what we're talking about here, and you got some thoughts on games like Have a Nice Death, like, we cover games like this all the time. Mondays and Fridays over on Twitch, we talk about games extensively every Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/casualart for our podcast. And we do quick looks like the one you're watching right now, a few days a week, where you can come and hang out and learn about games that we're playing right here on YouTube. So make yourself at home, like, subscribe. Tell us what your thoughts are. Is there any other games that you're excited for in early access? And is this one that you think you'll pick up? We want to hear from you. Chase, appreciate you hanging out and offering some awesome insight onto other games in the industry. This has been a lot of fun to show you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for bringing it to me.
Yeah,
cool.
Totally.